Hey everyone, Lee here. Today, we'll be wrapping the Esee Izula. I've wanted this knife for a few years and finally got me one. The wrap I will be showing today is called the 360 Strider and will work on most hollow knife handles, so no worry if you don't have the Esee Izula. The supplies you will need is 7 to 8 foot of 550 paracord and 2 skull beads, metal or plastic. The way to figure out whether you need 7 foot or 8 foot is by what kind of Esee Izula you have. If you have the one that comes without handles, which is your standard, you'll need 7 foot. If you have the Esee Izula 2, which does come with handles, you will need 8 foot due to the handle being slightly larger in length. Also, before we start, I just want to thank all of you so much for the support on the channel lately. The channel has really been growing and y'all are the reason for that. We just hit 800 subs and I can't be more thankful. If you want to talk to the paracord community, be sure to join the Discord. I will have it in the link in the description as well as all supplies just listed. Let's start. Okay, so to begin this one off, we're just going to go ahead and make sure our knife is in our sheath so we don't cut ourselves and so we don't slide our cord on too far. Alright, so I got my OD green ready here. What you're going to do is you're just going to match up both your ends to find your center point and just slide your fingers through it. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to slide our cord, our loop, onto the knife. Alright, just around the handle right here and just meet it up against the sheath. And we're going to take our left strand and go over the right, just crossing just like so. And then you're going to take your left and go over the right once again. And then you want to pull that tight and try to keep it centered. Okay, so you're just going to lay that flat against the knife and you should have something that looks just like this. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over to the other side, keeping enough tension on these so that it doesn't come loose. And you're going to bring your left over the right again. So it should just cross over like this and make an X. You're going to carry your left over the right and lay it flat against the knife. Okay, so we just did the exact same thing on this side as we did on the other. And now we're going to flip the knife over again and you're just going to keep going back and forth, crossing left over right, left over right. Okay, so that's left over right already. Then you cross left over right once again, laying it flat against the knife, just like so. And try to keep all this down and tight. You should have something that looks just like this. Now try to keep all of these strands centered and try not to get them like back and forth. We want to keep this a straight line going straight to the center of our loop over here. Alright, so just keep flipping the blade and going left over right twice. And try to keep enough tension on all this so that it stays tight. Alright, and now that we made it down here to the end, we can go ahead and wrap our cord around our loop 5 to 6 times. If you have the Esee Izula 2 that come with the handle, your handle loop is going to be quite a bit smaller. And so 5 loops might look fine for yours, but for mine, I'm going to go ahead and do 6. And go ahead and do the same for the left side, wrapping 5 to 6 loops around. And now, once you finish your loop, you're going to take your right and left cord and push it back through towards you. Alright, and don't worry about keeping it too tight, because all we're going to do is we're going to make a loop, starting with our right strand, and going through that loop and pulling it tight. Alright, and same with the left, so we're just going to kind of loosen up our last loop on there, taking our left strand and going through it and pulling up. Okay, and once you get those tight, we're going to go ahead and tie our snake knot. Alright, so you can go ahead and snip and burn your end if you don't want the lanyard, but I want it, so we're just going to go ahead and tie it. So you're just going to make a loop around your right strand. So you're taking this and just going around the right strand into the back. Okay, and with that right strand, you're going to come behind that loop you just made, behind that strand, and you're going to go down through the loop on the right. And don't worry, I'll show you again if that was too complicated. Just go ahead and tighten up if you got it the first time. Okay, now a little bit slower this time. Just take your right strand, go behind, take your left strand and go behind the right strand and make a loop. Okay, so now you're going to take your right strand that's going through that loop and go behind your left strand and down through the loop you made. And tighten it up. Okay, and one last time. We're going to take our left strand, go behind our right strand. And now with our right strand, in my right hand, I'm going to go behind the left strand and down through this loop we made. Alright, just repeat that process the whole way down. I'm going to be tying 6, and I think 6 is sufficient. I think that's a good size. But if you want more, go ahead and tie more. Okay, now that we're done tying our snake knots, all I did was flip my knife over because I want my skulls facing away from me when I have it in my pocket. So we're just going to go ahead and slide these on. If you have a bead, that's fine too. You just slide it on both strands at the same time. But if you have skulls, you just slide it on a single strand. Okay, so just meet it up against your snake knots. And same for the right strand. Alright, now that we got those on there, we're going to go ahead and tie a diamond knot. So just go ahead and take your right strand and make a loop over the left. Just like so. So it's pretty much like turning a key inside your car. You just take it, loop it over the left. And then with our left strand, we're going to come behind our right strand, go over, under, and over. See here. And actually it slipped out, needs to be behind there. Okay, now with our right strand, we're going to come behind this strand right here with our left skull, come behind it and up through the center. And then there's another strand right here behind our right skull. It's going to come behind and up through. Alright, just tighten that up. And this is the diamond knot. Okay, and once you pull that through there, you're going to go ahead and cinch your diamond knot up against your skulls and make sure you get it nice and tight so that these don't spin around. Okay, so to finish this one off, you can just go ahead and snip and burn your ends. I'm going to leave a little bit of room instead of cutting flat against my diamond knot since I think it'll look a little better. So I'll have like these little feet. So I'll cut about right here. I'll burn that down and then it'll be done. So there you go. And there you have it, the 360 Strider wrap. I think it's pretty awesome. Fits nice and tight on your knife. So yeah, I really like it. I like the way the skulls turned out right there against the diamond knot and all. And yeah, it's just a really nice tight wrap around the Esee. I think it looks really good. So hope you like it. Hope you're able to do it. And if you have any problems or can't figure out something, just let me know down in the comments and I'll help you out. That's it.